Yeah.
Can we start with a soft open instead of doing a 3, 2, 1 hello and welcome to Tudor, I hardly know her?
Yeah. How do you want to open it?
I don't know. We just talk.
Okay.
I miss doing it like that. I always liked it.
I do love soft opens, as you call them.
Yeah.
But Emily, they're called the cold opens.
Well, I'm already a little chilly, so I don't want anything colder. I'm not really cold. I'm pretty comfortable. That beeping, Garrett.
See, I wanted that to be the cold open, where I explained to you what a cold open is.
I failed.
And that would have been perfect.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tudor, I Hardly Know Her.
Classic. That was expertly done, Emily. I love it.
Thank you, Garrett. How are you?
As I explained before the recording,
record.
I went to Cedar Point and my body hurts. All those G's.
All those what?
All those G's. Those G
It sounded
forces,
like you said
those,
jeans.
I thought you were complaining about your pants for a
I
second.
was like, man, Gar.
all these jeans.
All of the jeans. My
I'm
genetics
wearing like 5
suck.
pairs of jeans right now.
Is it Billy Jeans?
Billy, oh man, it's out of the realm of the Tudor stuff, but I think it's a good product. I think we can market it.
Can
Billy
we-
jeans.
They rock this girl.
Everybody should know that Garrett loves Michael Jackson.
I thought he
I
was
really
Michael
do.
Jackson.
No, you probably thought that because Garrett also has alopecia. Did I get the name right?
No, it's vitiligo.
Vitiligo. Sorry. What's
And it's
alopecia?
my dad and brother who have vitiligo.
Oh, alopecia is
I'm
balding.
presumably fine, but I'm too pale to know.
So
Alopecia is where you lose all your hair.
yes, our guest just mimed that to me. We're gonna do a special mime episode today, guys.
We have a guest mime on the show. How you doing, mime? Classic mime.
Who's that famous mime? Maurice.
Doug
Antoine.
Jones.
I was gonna say Maurice LaMarche, but that's not right.
No, that's a voice actor.
Maurice, the guy who's in
Marcel
Silent Movie.
Marceau.
Marcel Marceau. Thank you.
Man, I'm so surprised I remember that. I feel really proud.
well,
Pat yourself on the back.
Actually,
I feel so good about that. I'm taking the rest of the day off. See
no,
you
no,
guys.
no. Actually,
No.
that's a good segue into our topic.
Is it?
Yeah, because I decided a couple hours ago that we're talking about the Tudors in film.
Ooh.
Jeff and I,
Like all the movies Henry has been in.
Henry
He
VIII
himself personally was in.
he actually has more Oscar noms than Meryl Streep.
God, he is such a talent.
He
But-
really is.
But still, he doesn't have the record because John Williams holds that.
Actually, John Williams and Henry VIII, they're coupling, kind of like Tim Burton and Helena Bonham
Well, those
Carter.
two collaborate together to write Greensleeves.
Garrett, I can't remember how Greensleeves goes. Can you remind me?
If it was done by John Williams, it would have been ba 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 ba.
That's when Henry
TM,
walked in the room.
Garrett, we're not allowed to use this.
Oh, now we owe money.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Garrett. Guys, can you please donate to our cause? Because Garrett just used the Star Wars theme. You can just send me money on Facebook. It's cool.
I did it so badly that it won't even count.
Considered an original piece of art.
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh my gosh, words are not
I'm
working.
protected
with me
under
tonight.
parody laws.
Parody, there we go. Speaking
Yeah.
of parody laws, did you know that there's a Starbucks called Dumb Starbucks? Not
Oh my
kidding.
God, I was talking about that the other day. That is, oh man, yeah.
It's hysterical. So Jeff, Dumb Starbucks is a coffee shop that is not actually a coffee shop. It's a work of art, and it's called Dumb Starbucks, and they have everything exactly like Starbucks except they have the word dumb in front of it, and it's
you know
listed
what
as
that's
an
from, right?
art or a
That's
parody.
from a TV show.
What'd you say?
That's from a TV show called Nathan for You, but I'm
Wait, I
unsure
thought it was
if
real.
it's like what?
I'm pretty sure it's real.
Well, yeah, it's a thing where he like goes to like, I don't know if it's like a parody show where like it's not real or if it's a reality show where he just fucks with people, but it's a show where he like gives people like business advice and it's all horrible and stuff like that. But that is a TV show where he does things like that with dumb Starbucks.
I just was looking it up, but I got distracted, and instead of writing dumb Starbucks, I wrote dumb Tudor.
That's the name of the episode, Dumb Tutors.
Dumb Starbucks. Nathan, for you. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cool. We're all awesome. Anywho, you wanna chat about some films?
Sure, let's do it.
This is gonna be right up your guys' alley because you guys don't know this. I'm scratching my eyeball. I will point.
If you're telling me that Jeff doesn't know something about a movie, I'll be damn surprised.
Jeff's probably gonna be like, "Oh yeah, watch that." So you guys obviously can't see this, but Jeff and I own about 700 movies.
It keeps
I
getting
think you
bigger and
bragged about
bigger
that on
every
a
time
previous
someone asks you a
episode.
question.
No. It's because last time we counted was when we got married, and we've added a whole extra shelf since then, plus our big collection. So the last time we counted when we got married, it was
It's roughly
630.
600 now.
No.
It is.
No, it's not. I will fight you on this.
Fight.
This is our first marital spat.
All right, half this podcast is going to be hearing people just us counting movies.
We
Yeah.
have more movies. No, we have less movies.
No, here, hold on. I'm going to fight you on this because when we got married, we counted like 630. And
No,
since then.
when we first got married, it was like 400 something.
To our audience, I know that counting how many DVDs the hosts own is really good podcasting.
All right, hold on. I'm
but
going to get
for
this.
the next
Let's
hour,
ask the
we're gonna
mime.
count everyone individually and catalog them.
Hey, Mime, Marcel, could you count these while we're doing the podcast? He just thumbs up us.
You're gonna make Jeff count all your fucking movies.
That's why we keep a mime. This is
To
our
prove
intern.
A point.
He's our intern.
Oh wait, who's there?
Eric.
Oh, hey, Eric.
He's being
Oh,
politely
I forgot
quiet.
you said we have a guest. I thought you were just gonna make Jeff do it.
He's being politely quiet to the point where he's not eating his dinner. Fuck off.
So I want him to be quiet while he's counting, and then in the middle of the episode, interrupt us and whisper just the total number.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to count because let's see.
We have
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
Anyway, Emily, tell us about the Tudors in film.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
You know if you put a
Do
random
22 times 16, Eric.
You know if you put a random Tudor facts in between your counting, I can't edit it out.
Eric, you don't actually have
I
to
know what you
count.
can edit out.
Damn it, we have to pay again.
Okay, then add all those, and then our big collections, and then there are like 10 extras that are spattered around.
Wow, we're like 10 minutes in this podcast when you get to actually talk about
That's okay.
any
No,
Tudors.
I'm gonna start. Okay, so if you guys are following our Twitter, and by you guys I mean not Jeff and Garrett because they don't actually pay attention to what
I
I
don't
do
have
on
a
social
Twitter.
media. Everybody build Jeff a Twitter. Eric, seriously, don't count. He's actually counting.
He's
the
got
movies.
notepad and everything.
Yeah, he's like getting serious about this.
Oh, here's a better thing to do. Take all the movies you have, put them in a giant bag, take a picture of it, put on Twitter, and make people try to guess how many are in the bag. Like those big things of jelly beans at the fair.
guys, I just got a great tweet. Do you want to see it? Hear it? You know how we've got the fake Tudor facts?
Oh, yes.
We were just tweeted Anne Boleyn was the first person in space.
I mean, if it was on the internet, it was true.
I love our fans. Okay, so if you're not Jeff and Garrett and you're one of our fans who follow us on Twitter, you saw I was live tweeting the first episode of that Shakespeare show, Will, on TNT.
Yes, I was there too.
Jeff was there. He was actually providing a lot of the comedy. Not as much as me, but still some.
And I was there.
Jeff particularly provided that IT episode one, which I really liked.
Oh my god.
So
Yes.
So I don't know if you're leading up to it, but did you like the show?
I didn't hate it. I thought I would hate it, like with the passion of hatred of rain, but I didn't hate it. I still haven't watched the second episode, and I think the third episode is going out tonight. But it was pretty good. It was not. I think the reason I hated it was because of the trailers. They always portrayed it as like rain, basically, with modern music, and it really threw me off.
What were they playing in the beginning of it? They played a well-known song.
I don't know.
Like, it kind of did the whole thing with
I don't
playing
give a damn about my bad reputation.
It played Joan Jess' Bad Reputation.
I'm just
pretty
kidding.
sure.
I don't think it was.
No, I'm pretty sure that got played at some point.
I don't like that.
So
it was like it made me think of Nice Tale again. Like, it wasn't bad. It had like
yeah.
It was just pandering to the young crowd kind of thing. Made me think of Shakespeare in Love at times, the way it kind of looked and the way it was done.
Shakespeare in Love is definitely going to come up in this episode. So since that came out, and then something else happened recently that made me think of Tudor movies, I thought it'd be a good time to go into Tudors in pop culture. And by pop culture, I really just mean film. Because if I go into books...
Or television.
There's a little bit of TV in here.
Yeah.
If I go into books, though, we're going to be here for the next year. So I kind of relied on IMDb, which I always rely on. And what I did was I found some of the movies. Obviously not all of the movies that are about the Tudors, but some of them. And I pulled out the ones that were of note. So the first movie about Henry VIII, when do you guys think it was
1932.
No. Garrett, what do you think?
When was the first movie about the Tudors made?
Yeah.
70s.
No, 1911.
I was supposed to say 1920s.
1911. It was the first movie, but...
Charlie Chaplin is... I don't even know if he was around that time.
I don't remember what that movie was called, but in 1920, there was a movie called Anne Boleyn, and it was very stereotypical 1920s silent movie type stuff.
Was she doing the big bopper?
Yes. Yeah, she was
Wearing
it was
a flapper?
it was actually a cross between Chicago and the story of Anne Boleyn. And then in 1932 or 1933, there was a movie called The Private Life of Henry VIII. And that one actually surprisingly starts with the execution of Anne Boleyn. Like, it totally skips over Catherine of Aragon. Starts with the execution of...
Just goes straight to the
starts
fat
with his
Henry.
execution, and then she looks at the camera and says, "Hi, you're probably wondering how I got in this position."
Absolutely.
You hear a record scratch.
Whoa, hold up.
And then in 1936, Katharine Hepburn was in a movie called Mary, Queen of Scots, and she played Mary. And I am like dying to watch that now.
That would be fascinating, actually,
Yeah.
to see her doing that.
But guys, there are so many interesting things on this list. I can't wait.
Well, I'm sure there's been lots of movies about Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Just because he's such an iconic
Oh, yeah.
person, and he's so easy to identify in the way
Well,
he just looks.
I
like,
even have a list
physically.
that I found online rating the guys who've played Henry VIII. Oops, need to use that. And I'm going to read that at the end, so you're going to love it. So then in 1937, there was a silly-ish movie called Fire Over England, and it was about the Spanish Armada and Elizabeth's defeat of them. That one starred Laurence Olivier and Vivian Leigh.
Huh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I now want to just spend a lot of time watching these movies, but it was apparently just a kind of a silly 1930s movie. And then in 1939, there was a movie with Bette Davis and Errol Flynn. Her name's actually pronounced Betty, right?
She's got those
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, Bette Davis and Errol Flynn, and that one's called The Private
Wait.
Lives of Elizabeth and Essex.
Is this like today's Betty Davis?
No. Was it Bette Davis then? Bette?
Yeah, that's Betty Davis.
Yeah. Jeff, you're thinking Betty White.
That's right.
Betty Davis had that song about her. She's got Betty Davis eyes.
What are Betty Davis eyes?
God, I fucking love that song.
Who sings it?
Kim Carnes.
Don't know what that is.
It's
Oh,
it was
right,
an
okay, I
80s
know who
song
Bette Davis
called
is.
Betty
Never mind.
Davis Eyes,
Yeah.
about how she's got those Betty Davis eyes. And I was so infatuated with that song. I didn't know what Betty Davis looked like. I just drew what I thought she looked like and looked it up, and it was very similar.
Oh, that's creepy and cool. Can you share that? Do you still
yeah.
have that drawing?
What?
Do you happen to still have that drawing?
I think I have a friend who has it.
Can
I'll
you
have to see with
get a
her.
copy of it and share it with us? So that was Betty.
She'll tease you.
So that was Betty Davis and Errol Flynn.
I'm
And
fascinated
then
with Errol Flynn.
I was looking at this, and there was basically just a fuck ton about Elizabeth.
I bet.
I mean, I always knew there were a lot of movies about Elizabeth, but it's a fuck ton. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a... No, shitload is an actual measurement, but fuck ton needs to be because there are a fuck ton.
I'm kind of curious.
It's like zombie movies today.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious if there's any
Elizabeth
like
the zombie.
records about like the most portrayed person in film.
Ooh. Actually, I feel like I read something about that recently.
And I feel like Elizabeth would be one of the top.
Probably.
because-
Let's look that up.
Are you talking about just people in general?
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
I would-
which person, which
I want to say
historical...
Jesus. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, so this is my favorite movie on the list, and I have to watch it. In 1953, there was a movie called The Sword and the Rose, and this is the IMDb description. During the reign of Henry VIII, Mary Tudor, who is his sister, seeks to flee a forced marriage with the French king by escaping to America with her true love. I have to see that.
So I just quickly Googled.
Me too.
Who
Guys.
so do you want no who the most portrayed is? Guess. It's actually a really well-known character.
I can't believe we thought of it. We didn't think of
I
this.
feel like I've heard this before, and that's why I'm irritated. Don't say it yet.
It's so simple.
It really
you'll
is.
kick yourself for not
God?
thinking of it.
No. This person's been depicted 254 times.
The devil. Why am I going into the religious shit?
It's nothing religious. In fact, he's a fictional person.
Peter Pan.
No.
God damn it. Hold on. I know this one. Fictional person. Robin Hood.
Nope.
God
Close.
damn it. Go.
Sherlock Holmes,
Oh, motherfucker.
which that totally makes sense
That
now.
totally makes sense. I'm pissed.
For real people, it may be Napoleon,
Wait, what?
who's been featured in Napoleon Bonaparte has been featured in 194 movies, Jesus Christ 152, and Abraham Lincoln in 137.
Oh wow. Yeah, Lincoln.
Daniel
I would.
Day-Lewis still thinks he's Lincoln, though. Does that count extra? Nobody
Wait,
laughed
what?
at my joke. Never mind. I hate you all. Daniel Day-Lewis is famous for being a... What's it called when you just immerse yourself?
Method actor.
He's a method actor, and I was making a joke saying he still thinks he's Lincoln. Never mind. Anyway,
that's
you guys
fascinating
also
that-
missed my other joke.
That's fascinating that Napoleon would have been. You figured like they just keep casting Danny DeVito to play him.
He's just so easy to make fun of because he's so tiny. Actually, do you want to know why people think Napoleon was tiny? It's
Was
he not?
because
Yeah.
because after the French Revolution, France was like, basically fuck everyone else, and we're going to create our own measurements of everything. They actually changed the work week and time, and part of those changes was how, like, centimeters and inches, I don't know what it was actually called, but his height was like, people are like, oh, he was 5'3". In actuality, he was like 5'6", so he was of average height for that time period, and it's just because the French are goddamn idiots.
They can't convert easily.
It wasn't even they couldn't convert; they just made up their own bullshit. So they made up their bullshit, and now Napoleon is always known as the short guy when he was actually the same height as everybody else.
5'6" still seems kind of short.
For those days, it wasn't.
I've actually heard that a lot of people in history
in the
were
ni-
actually much shorter.
Have you ever
than
noticed
today.
when you're in an old house, like something from the 1920s or 30s, the doorways are narrower, the stairs are steeper, and the ceilings are lower? It's because people were shorter back then.
Because you're living in a doll's house.
Basically, you're
What
in
is
that
this, a house
episode.
for ants?
You're in that episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Don't remember that one, but continue.
It's the one where they're all turned into dolls.
By the way, update on our movie count. He's to the section where it's now the giant bundles of movies. So he's going
Yeah.
through and figure out what's in the giant collections, how many.
Don't forget the Universal set, which has how many? 100,
25 in the Universal,
and then
50 in the Warner Brothers.
and then don't forget the Doctor Who's.
Thanks,
Um,
Eric. We'll check back with you in Movie Watch later on in the show.
Okay, so
Don't count TV series for.
I always count TV series though.
Those aren't movies.
We still own the film, which is not technically film, but there's no other way to put it. You know what? Shut up. Back to my show.
Cinematic movies, please.
Okay, in 1966, there was a movie called A Man for All Seasons, and it was about Thomas More. And Charlton Heston redid it in 1988. And now I can just only picture like that. Apes don't kill people. What is it, Jeff? You do.
Oh, it's like
guns
what?
don't kill people.
Apes
with guns kill people. So I picture him as Thomas More going, Catholics don't kill people. Catholics
kill
with
people.
fire kill people.
Oh my gosh. Catholic apes kill people.
That was actually Charlton Heston's directing debut, was his 88 rendition of A Man for All Seasons.
Huh.
Okay.
Nice.
What?
Said nice.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
Nice. Okay, now to like the most famous Henry VIII Tudor movie of all, Anne of the Thousand Days. That was in 1969. That one starred Richard Burton and Genevieve Bujold. She was a really beautiful French actress. Fun fact about that movie.
Richard Burton.
Richard Burton was married to Elizabeth Taylor, who is
That's
Judy.
right.
She was Judy Garland's daughter, and they had
Was she?
Yeah, and they had a tumultuous. Jeff, I'm right about that. No, sorry, Liza Minnelli's Judy Garland's daughter.
Correct.
Sorry,
Wait,
guys.
really?
Got my classic ladies mixed up.
You did not know that?
No.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Liza Minnelli's Judy Garland's daughter. Elizabeth Taylor has nothing to do with it. But she and Richard Burton like had a really tumultuous marriage, and it actually reached the point where while filming Anne of the Thousand Days, she was convinced Richard Burton, who played Henry VIII, was having an affair with Genevieve Bujold, who played Anne Boleyn, and she marched onto set and demanded to talk to Genevieve Bujold, and then she demanded to be cast as an extra in the movie to watch him. That marriage didn't last. But I think they got married again, and it didn't last again.
Surpriser.
Hollywood Corner. Okay, so then in 1970, there was a miniseries called Six Wives of Henry VIII, and that one's got hella high ratings, and it's one of the first movies to be about like all of these ladies. And I think it was BBC. Basically, if it was a BBC miniseries, watch it because it's amazing. So I'll try and make note of those as I mention them.
Okay. However, they do not count as movies.
Yes, they do.
They're
I said
miniseries.
film.
They're on TV.
Wait, no, miniseries totally count.
Yeah, they do. I'm just fucking with you.
You're a monster.
I was gonna say because if you've got it in your movie library, Eric, take it out.
We don't. But I do have the next one. It's called Elizabeth R. And that was in 1971, and that was also a miniseries, and it was also amazing. Also BBC.
Rated R.
Elizabeth R. It's about Elizabeth when she became a pirate. Okay, so this next one you guys are going to love. In 1971, there was a movie called Crossed Swords. What do you think it's about?
I think it's...
Do you want a serious answer or a really inappropriate answer?
Well,
I think it's a gay movie.
It is not. It is basically the story of the Prince and the Pauper, except it's with Edward, Henry's son.
When he's king-napped?
He doesn't get king-napped. He
Damn
just
it. Doesn't want to be king?
doesn't want to be prince.
Aw.
All right, Emily, now tell us about Movie Watch.
Okay, we have 628 movies. Does that include our TV series? That does not include our TV series. So, I was right and Jeff was right.
You said we had 700 movies.
You said we had 400. You said we had 500.
No, I said we had 400 when we first counted.
Judge, Garrett, did Jeff say 500?
Jeff did say we have a certain amount back when we first got married.
What?
Let's try that over. Jeff did mention that you had so many at a certain point, but that wasn't including right now.
Did he say we had 500 though?
I
Look,
think
guys, we're in the middle of a marital dispute, and you need to fix this.
I don't like it when mommy and daddy fight. Can we get back to the show?
I don't want Garrett. You take him.
is amongst your list the I was just looking up the movie because there's one movie I saw like years ago. It had the dude from Jaws.
Which one? Brody?
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss?
Robert Shaw.
Ugh.
Robert Shaw.
He played Henry VIII.
I'm Henry VIII. I am.
I was hoping he was describing Henry. This has been a 20, 30 footer.
His eyes rolled into the back of his head.
Hold on. It won Best Picture.
What movie?
Wait, what?
This movie is called from 1966, A Man for All Seasons.
Jeff, I just said that one.
I didn't. We were actually talking about what that one's about.
Yeah, it's about Thomas More.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was Robert Shaw playing Henry VIII in
Robert
that.
Shaw either.
So
I hope
yeah,
he's still wearing that hat from Jaws, though.
Hey guys, let's talk about Robert Shaw. If you haven't seen The Sting, don't do anything else except for finish this episode of the podcast and go watch it.
I
Because
haven't seen The Sting.
Garrett, get your ass down here. We're going to watch it
I just know The Sting for the song.
right now. Eric, our mime, is currently muffling the sound of his tacos because he's so afraid that our crappy rock band mics are going to pick up that sound. He's like holding his hands over his mouth.
these microphones barely pick up when I'm in front of it.
I know. Garrett, watch The Sting.
Yes.
You will love it. I guarantee it. Totally.
What's it about? Give me that one sentence review.
Paul Newman and Robert Shaw swindle rich people.
Robert Redford,
I thought it was Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, and
Sorry,
Robert Redford.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford swindle Robert Shaw.
Jinx.
Our marital spat is over.
And that's how he funded his salad dressing empire.
You leave Paul Newman out of this. He's a national treasure.
Okay, back to some of the other movies. Okay, in 1972, there was a miniseries called The Shadow of the Tower, and that was a miniseries, also BBC, I think, and it was apparently amazing. It was a bunch of different stories, I think, by a bunch of different writers, but they're apparently hella good. Okay, a lot of people might know this one. In 1986, there was a movie called Lady Jane. Do you remember when we were talking about the 9 Days Queen, Garrett?
Mm-hmm.
Helena Bonham Carter plays her. And Carrie Elways plays her husband.
Oh, yes. I love that man.
Yeah. So Mrs. Tim Burton and not Johnny
Robin
Depp.
Hood.
So that movie's called Lady Jane. Okay, this one I got to see. In 1992, there was a movie called Orlando, and I guess it's based off a Virginia Woolf novel, except it's set in Elizabethan England. And apparently Queen Elizabeth I tells somebody to stay young forever, so he just does. So guys, that's the secret to living forever, is just willing it to happen. Jeff's looking shit up, so I'm assuming Garrett's looking shit up. What are you guys looking up?
No, I'm just trying to process what you told me. It's a movie where someone says, "Hey, stay young forever." He's like, "Done."
No, Queen Elizabeth I says stay young forever. Okay, next there was a movie called Queen Margot, and that was in 1994. Oh, I actually shouldn't have put this on the list. I just don't care because it's a great movie. It's about Catherine de Medici and the St. Bartholomew's Day I keep bumping the microphone. I'm sorry, Jeff. It's about Catherine de Medici and the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre.
There you go.
Emily's had a little bit to drink. It's a really, really good movie, though. I saw it on Netflix a couple of years ago, so look up Queen Margot, Margot. Good. It was a good one. Okay, I remember why I wrote that down. It's because when I looked at the list, if you go on IMDb and you look at movies, it'll give you plot keywords. You guys are going to love these. The plot keywords for Queen Margot are pubic hair.
What? I'm awake.
Pubic hair, Protestant massacre, Queen and King. Oh yes, the pubic hair massacre of 1548.
To be fair, that makes a much better title than Queen Margot.
I think pubic hair massacre is a porn name.
It was on the poster.
I think
That's
that's
a tagline.
like a grindcore metal metal band. Like,
Hey, let's make that band.
God,
God, that sounds terrible.
I don't want to see any fan art of that.
We reject that fan art, guys.
I mean, if you want to send it to me, like do it on the DL.
Okay, so now we're getting more into the ones a lot of people do know. We're gonna go to that classic love story, Ever After, in 1998. And the reason I mention it is because it's not about Henry VIII. It stars Drew Barrymore as an random made up character, and Angelica Houston. It is Cinderella, but she's not called Cinderella. She's called Danielle, which is apparently a very French name because it occurs in France. And the reason I mention it is because in the middle of the movie they make a joke about how the French don't divorce like the English, and it takes place during Henry VIII's time, and it made me giggle. So that's on the list. Okay, and then Garrett, what's the name of that movie that your guy keeps coming into your store to ask about?
Elizabeth, the Golden Age.
This is the first one. That was in...
Oh, yeah.
Man, okay. This is what came out in 1998. Ever After, Elizabeth, and then Oscar-winning Shakespeare in Love.
Mr. Shakespeare in Love.
Mr. Shakespeare in Love. And I will not name the woman who stars in that one because I dislike her. But Kate Blanchett and Jeffrey Rush were in Elizabeth. That movie's awesome. It totally is not historically accurate, but it's still...
what's his name? It's like... Isn't it Fiennes?
Yeah, Joseph.
Joseph Fiennes and Ben Affleck.
Oh, yes. You guys. Ben Affleck is in Shakespeare in Love, so go watch that, please. He plays Marlowe, I think.
And Mr. Weasley from Harry Potter.
Yes.
Guy who has stuttering
But
problems.
do you want to know
that's
what?
why you
I always
didn't wanna talk
recognize
about
him from
Shakespeare
the
in Love.
live-action 101 Dalmatians before Harry Potter because I saw the live-action 101 Dalmatians before Harry Potter.
And who played Queen Elizabeth in that movie, Emily? Shakespeare in Love?
Oh, Judi Dench.
Yep.
Dame
I was
Judi
gonna say,
Dench.
what do you have against Judi Dench?
I have nothing against
She is
Dame
amazing.
Judi Dench. She's as cool.
She's so beautiful.
She's as amazing as Helen Mirren. Like, there is a trifecta of beautiful women in Hollywood, and it is Dame Judi Dench, Helen Mirren, and Meryl Streep. We should all bow down to them. Whose phone was that? Our mime's phone is being loud.
It's louder than him.
It is. Okay. Apparently, this is another fun one. In 2000, there was a movie called The Prince and the Pauper. Guess who changed places this time?
Henry and another Henry.
Henry VIII and some rando. And I'm trying to figure out, like, who 17 years ago, probably 19 years ago, you know, with production time, was like, I'm really interested in learning about Henry VIII, and everybody's really into that time period lately, so,
Did it have that kind of weird action vibe as well? Like, doves start flying randomly in the background, and...
It's not a woo movie.
I mean,
Who's
you don't
that guy's
know.
name?
It sounds pretty crazy.
What's that guy's name?
John Woo.
John Woo. That sounds like a...
Emily, you skipped over a movie.
What did I skip over?
Back in 1991, there was a movie starring John Goodman called King Ralph.
We talk about that movie a lot on this podcast, dude.
I've never seen it. I just seen the title, and I see it coming to work, and I'm like, this looks like a silly movie.
I have seen it. The entire royal family dies in a horrible explosion at a garden party, and they find a bowling master in the middle of America who has a claim to the throne, and he becomes king, and he installs a bowling alley in the palace, and that's all I remember.
That's pretty wonderful. I think the movie would be stronger if it was a Roseanne spinoff.
It is. Didn't you know that?
Well, now I gotta see
She
it.
comes in the end. Jeff's doing something. What are you doing,
Yeah,
Jeff?
I'm looking up this Prince and the Pauper movie. Oh, okay, never mind. It's a Hallmark movie. That's why it looks so bad.
Ooh,
Oh, God.
that's gonna docket some points.
Yeah. Okay. In 2003, there was a TV movie called The Other Boleyn Girl. Not the one you guys know, but a different one. And then again in 2003, there was a Henry VIII TV movie. And in 2004, there was a TV movie called Gunpowder, Treason, and Plot, and I highly recommend it. It is so good. It talks about James the Sixth of Scotland / James the First of England and his mother. It's a really, really, really great one. I really enjoyed it. It's on Netflix, or at least it was a year ago. Go check out Gunpowder, Treason, and Plot. It talks about the Guy Fawkes thing. That's why it's called that. Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason plot?
When was he active?
V for Vendetta.
He was active 16. I think he tried to blow up Parliament in 1605.
Okay.
And then 2005, there was a mini series called Elizabeth I, and that one is also amazing. I'm pretty sure that was BBC. And then Garrett, 2007, was Elizabeth the Golden Age, and that once again, Kate Blanchett, Jeffrey Rush, yada yada.
Gotcha.
2007 was when that show The Tudors started.
Really?
Yes.
Tudors is that old?
Yeah, I know. It's weird, huh? Okay, and then in 2011, there was a movie called Anonymous, and I think it was pretty quickly forgotten, but it's all about who really wrote the plays attributed to William Shakespeare. But it has to do with, like, one of the guys in it is trying to kill Queen Elizabeth, so it does have to do with that time period. It's super
Typical.
That one's, I think I enjoyed that one, and I want to say Crows had a lot to do with it, but I can't really remember. I remember watching it with your mom, Jeff, but I'll say... Oh, guys, I forgot to mention the most important one. In 1983, Blackadder.
Oh, my God. That's such a good show.
Okay. Now we're to the good part. Wait. Oh, wait, no. I found a little thing, and it has nothing to do with Henry VIII, but I got to share it with you. In 2014, there was a movie called A Little Chaos, and it had Kate Winslet as a woman who was doing the gardens at Versailles, the Palace of Versailles, which is famous for being like the opulent palace during the French Revolution. Guess who played King Louis the 16th or 14th?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, Alan Rickman.
Oh,
As a French hoity-toity king. Now I have to see that because I want to see him in those breeches. Okay, guys, let's do a rating. I found a rating online of the best actors to play Henry VIII, and I want you to guess the top 6. You have four misses, so you get 10 guesses altogether, both of you combined. So who would you say is one of them? You don't have to name them in order.
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Damian Lewis.
Yes. Damian Lewis
Homer
was in Wolf
Simpson.
Hall. Yes.
Because I brought this list up a couple episodes ago.
Okay, but you're not allowed to talk about number 2. Jeff? You have 3.
Mr. Bean.
Yes.
Rowan Atkinson.
He did. He was Henry VIII, not in Blackadder. He was Henry VIII in Horrible Histories, which is that thing that fan sent us.
Yes.
Yeah. Terrible Tudors. Okay, and the other ones, I feel like you're not going to get one of them, definitely, because I didn't even know them. But now I want to see this. Ray Winstone, or Winston, he played Henry VIII with Helena Bonham Carter as Anne Boleyn. And that was in 2003, so I got to see that one. And then Eric Bana was
another Boleyn
Henry
girl.
VIII and the other Boleyn girl. Okay, so I was thinking about that, and he doesn't look a shit like him, but he was kind of a good Henry, because I rewatched it recently.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a better Henry than Natalie Portman was Anne or Scarlett Johansson was Mary. He kind of got that pompous everybody do what I say thing down. But I feel like Jonathan Rhys-Meyers was only added to the list because it was recent.
It was recent, and he just played it the longest of anyone.
Like, I almost feel like this person hasn't watched any of the movies that have been Henry VIII.
Nora looked at a real photo of Henry.
What?
Nora has looked at a real photo of him.
I'll forgive actors not
the physicality.
Yeah, I will absolutely forgive that. I mean, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers looked like a complete bro, like one of the guys in my high school.
Dude, yeah, and Boleyn.
He totally looked like that. So, but I'll forgive that.
Charles, high five.
It's just like he was really oversexed in that, and I know that was it's stars, so they had to do that, but kind of bothered me, and I feel like there are better choices for Henry VIII, like winners than this list. Oops. Although I did hear awesome things about Damian Lewis. I really liked him in the one episode I watched
Of that Wolf Hall.
of Wolf Hall. I never got to finish it, so here's
Because the guy who's the main actor who's in it.
the guy, because it's all about Thomas Cromwell.
Yeah, because the guy who plays him, oh my gosh, because he won an Oscar for that.
He won
Bridge
an
of
Oscar
Spies.
for okay. I thought you were gonna say for Wolf
No,
Hall.
no. He was nominated
His
for Wolf
acting
Hall.
was so superb. He transcended television and went into the film.
Spielberg's been using him a lot in his movies lately.
Has he?
Yeah. Like he was the BFG. And then he's
well,
going to be in Ready Player One.
Here's the thing. I never
he's in
finished it
Dunkirk.
because, and I actually have both the books. It was really hard for me to get through a couple years ago. And I don't really believe in throwing out books, so I won't get rid of them. Like, I won't even donate them. So I just have them on my shelf waiting to be read again. But I'm rereading a crap ton of other books, so I don't have the time to read that now.
Well, a fun thing also, it may not be like the main focus of the show, but like little special episodes like Simpsons. I have seen the
Oh, yeah.
Henry VIII one quite a few times. Actually really hilarious.
That one's just really funny, guys. If you haven't seen the Henry VIII episode of The Simpsons, go watch it.
Like-
Isn't it a Halloween
well,
episode?
well, like no, the episode itself, it's like they're telling different parts of history. So like the one segment is Lisa as Joan of Arc,
yeah.
and then one was Homer as King Henry, and Marge as Catherine of Aragon.
Yeah. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
I think who's it? Catherine Parr. There's the one like it's like this woman was like has a really annoying voice, and that's why he beheads her.
Yeah.
But who else?
No, he doesn't behead. Oh, yeah, he does behead all
The
of
whole
them.
joke of the episode is
yeah,
he's
yeah,
beheading
he beheads all of
everybody.
them.
But there's another show,
Hysteria.
Hysteria, which one of our fans actually shared the video from it, the song of the
Yes.
Tudors. And I recently just watched that whole episode with my parents. My mom has that entire show on DVD.
Garrett, have you ever heard of Hysteria?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For our fans who don't know, it's like the precursor to Animaniacs. It was canceled pretty quickly.
It was like
It
after.
came after.
It was kind of like
Was it?
it
I
was,
thought it was
after
before.
Animaniacs
Oh.
because it's by all the same artist and people
You
who
could
worked.
totally tell.
Yeah, it has the exact same art style as Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, Freakazoid, Pinky and the Brain, and a lot of the same actors. But it's just kind of, it's actually fairly accurate when it comes to actually
Yeah.
when it gives you real information.
Except the horse.
The whole joke though, it tells you, like a lot of the famous people are based off well-known actors and caricatures. But I rewatched that one.
It's a good one.
That's where me as a kid, I knew the line of divorce, behead, died before divorce, behead, survive. That's where I learned that was from watching that show as a kid. It was like,
That is from our podcast.
We did
I
not
may
make
have
that
stole
up.
it.
yeah, I watched. This was like late '90s because I remember watching it when I was in elementary.
Anyway.
But that's one of those other. That's like the stuff I knew. King Henry VIII was from watching those as a kid.
So,
Is there-
guys.
There's nothing else like really recently that's related to Henry VIII that has there.
The
Bes-
Tudor
I think
thing
Wolf
has
Hall.
dropped.
Wolf Hall was probably the most recent.
Yeah. The Tudor shoe has dropped. People are like, whatever, we're moving on. What would you say the new trend in movies is?
Superheroes.
I would say
Okay.
besides comic book
Oh,
movies.
God, that's overwhelming. Yeah, you're right.
So, in order to bring Henry back into the spotlight, we need to make him a superhero. We may have talked about
Do
this
you know
already.
what, though? I'm just picturing Conan O'Brien's superhero, except fat.
The Flaming Sea.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally what I'm picturing for Henry VIII as a superhero. What's his superpower?
Beheading.
He just carries an axe with him. He's like, hey, who's that?
He's got supersonic karate chops that always aims for the neck.
Hey, Jeff, who was that guy you told me about that was in comics the other day? And he was supposed to be like the response to Batman, who was too pure. And he like ends up being the devil's.
Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emily did not know what Spawn was.
Oh, no.
That might be for the better.
Yeah.
Why?
Spawn is such an edgelord '90s creation. Like,
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I don't know.
At the time, it was super edgy, and then like years later, it's like, it's.
Speaking
so
of 90s edginess and totally off topic about Henry VIII, but still related to movies, Who else wishes the Nicolas Cage Superman movie had happened?
My God.
I think the world is worse off for it.
For it not happening, I agree.
Yeah. You don't know what you got till it's gone. In this case, you never had it all.
Jeff and I were playing
Like, do yourself a favor, go online and look up Nicolas Cage in Superman
You'll
costume.
be delighted.
This was an actual movie. It was going to be directed
It
by
was
Tim Burton.
so close to being started.
Like, seriously, it was just like on the edge of actually being filmed,
There
and then it just stopped.
There's actually images of Nicolas Cage as Superman.
There's
Do
even
yourself
like,
a
there's even
favor.
like video footage of him
Check
in
it
it, too.
out. But that brought Jeff and I into a game called the What If movie game. Because you always see these like fun facts, like so and so auditioned to be such and such famous character, like Tom Selleck auditioned to be Indiana Jones, and
Originally, this
Harrison
person
Ford
was
auditioned to be
Yeah.
Alan Grant. So we like to play that What If movie game occasionally. We like to think like what if would you change? What would you make happen? And I think I would choose Superman, Tim Burton, Nick Cage. That's the what if I'd want to bring to life. Although I'm really into the idea of a movie about Henry VIII as a superhero.
I can give you a little fun fact down that rabbit hole if we want to keep going away from the Tudors.
Give us your fun fact and then we'll go back.
So Kevin Smith was supposed to do a Superman movie.
Yeah. He wrote
Kevin Smith wrote a Superman movie, I believe, and I think it was the producer of the movie really wanted him to have a giant mechanical spider.
That was the
Yes.
same movie. This was the Nick Cage
Okay,
movie.
Yes.
and then
and so you guys know where this is going.
yes, we do.
That
Tell our
movie
listeners.
finished.
That movie never got made, and the producer went ahead and made the movie Wild Wild West, starring Will Smith and Kevin Kline, that had a giant mechanical spider in it. That guy really wanted his giant fucking mechanical
He
spider.
really did. Garrett, did you read about that on Cracked?
I read about that a long time ago.
Did you write
I
that
might have heard that
Cracked
on
article?
Kevin Smith's podcast. I can't remember.
You wrote that Cracked article, didn't you?
I wish I did.
You did. We know it.
We should do it. We should do our own Cracked article about the Tudors.
Okay. What are we going to write about?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, back to the show.
Well, the show's done.
Was it?
I'm out of movies. I'm sorry. You come up
Okay,
with a
so
movie.
So the what if game for you guys. What if Nick Cage played Henry VIII?
Wait. There are two Nick Cages. There's current crazy Nick Cage, and then there's like Raising Arizona.
There's really good Nick Cage.
There's
yeah.
Raising Arizona Nick Cage. So which Nick Cage are we talking about? Because I can do Raising Arizona Nick Cage. I couldn't exactly see him playing.
Column B.
What?
I said a little bit of column A, a little bit of
See,
column B.
I couldn't-
Like you need I'd like a good mix of that.
Crazy Nick could play Henry VIII.
Post
Sane Nick-
1536.
Sane Nick would be a really good advisor. So he could have played, I think, Cromwell or Wolsey really well. And I'm being totally serious about that. I think
I can
as
see
one
that,
of the
yeah.
advisor side guys, the serious Nick Cage from the 90s and 80s,
Yeah.
he would have been a good one. Do y'all agree with me? Yay? Nay?
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
no, I can definitely see it. That's what I was
For
talking.
some reason, I'm really picturing him as Wolsey.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe it's because of that one movie where he played a priest.
That was
Or
his
who's
like
dressed up as a
craziest
priest, I can't
role
remember what that
yet.
was.
Are you talking about Face Off?
He was not an actual
Yeah.
priest in that movie. He was just in a priest
Yeah.
costume.
That's what I mean.
But thanks. Now I'm picturing him headbanging in the Tudor times. So
God damn, I love Nick Cage.
But-
If you haven't, have you guys seen what is it called? Wild at Heart, David Lynch movie. It's him and Laura Dern as like star-crossed lovers that go on like a rampage, like from the law. They're on the run. They're on the
Nick
run.
Cage?
Nick Cage and Laura Dern,
Huh. How old is this?
old Jurassic Park lady.
Yeah, I know who Laura Dern is.
Yeah, well, for people who might not.
She played Ellie in Jurassic Park, guys.
Yeah, but oh man, that's a good one. It's weird as fuck, but it's so good.
I mean, it's David Lynch. There's no other way to do his movies.
Oh my god.
I can't stop thinking about crazy Nick Cage as Henry VIII, doing the like when he's like getting pissed with Anne of Cleves, and he's like A B C D E F G.
Yeah, you got to do it all.
H I J K L M N O P Q R.
I have not seen that movie, but I have friends who like would regularly have viewings of that film.
Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's so freaking bizarre.
I need to watch
All right,
it.
we gotta watch it.
I need an
Nick Cage night.
What?
Nick Cage night. That's what
The
we
Rage
need.
Okay, come down to
Cage.
visit and we'll do a Nick Cage night.
Deal.
It better happen.
Okay. We'll do Vampire's Kit. Do we want to start with Sane Cage, or do we want to go and start with
Mix
Let's
it up.
alternate.
Mix it up?
Let's alternate. One sane,
Okay.
one crazy, one
and then,
sane.
And then the one in between, like Con Air.
You know, I like
man.
Con Air.
Con Air is great.
And I
Con
also
Air's
like
great.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Also, let's also talk about one of his actually really good ones, The
Raising
Rock.
Arizona.
I've never seen
True
The Rock.
story, I've never seen The Rock.
Ah,
I've never seen The Rock, and I've never seen Raising Arizona, which everyone says is good.
We own Raising Arizona, so we'll watch that.
Okay, we'll throw that.
But
in
like
there.
The Rock, it's Michael Bay, and it's like his one few good movies he made.
Are you telling me Transformers 4 wasn't good?
Rise of the Forsaken
With-
Planet or something.
With Mark Wahlberg. Hey, Optimus Prime, you're a Transformer. What's that all about? Say hi to mama for me.
Transformer.
See, how do you mom
I
for
think
me?
we found a Transformer.
Okay, I think it's time for us to
Wow,
wrap
we
this up,
really
guys.
just got off the rails with this one.
It's okay.
We're trying to get fillers to make up for the short episode last week.
Nah, they're fine. Now they have a bunch of movie recommendations to watch. Here's a question for our fans.
Are you telling me people don't want to hear us talk about our plans?
No, they do. Here's a question for our listeners. Do you guys want us to, or rather me, to watch one of these movies and then live tweet as I'm watching it? Not the Nick Cage movies, one of the Henry VIII
A
Tudor movies.
movie.
Let us know on social media if you think that would be cool. And then if
Or if
so,
you know of any other ones we may not have mentioned that you'd
Yeah.
like to let us know about, like
Yeah.
ones you might know yourself that might be ones we should actually keep an eye out for and check
Yep.
it out.
and if you guys are interested in that, then we can all decide together what to watch, and the three of us can get together and watch it and live tweet what we think. It can be
What-
one of the great ones or one of the not so great ones. But
I
let
never
us
got around to
know.
asking what was the reception to the Shakespeare thing, the Will live tweet.
Actually, I got some pretty cool
Once we figure out
engagement.
the hashtag correctly.
Once I used the correct hashtag, we got some pretty great engagement from that. Like, I actually got tweetbacks from official TNT.
Oh, nice.
So I was pretty happy with that. My standards are so low.
We're getting hip with the social media, kids.
I've always been hip with the social media, except
You
for
have.
the
That's your
Snapchat.
job, isn't it?
No,
Or it was?
it hasn't been my job since I first graduated. No, I do writing now.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know what my friends do.
that's okay. We know what you do, so
Speaking
clearly.
of social media, Emily, how can these fine people find us?
Find us on Twitter where we live tweet. That hashtag or that handle is at Tudor Know Her. And then on Facebook, you can find us just at the page Tudor I Hardly Know Her. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to share the links between them because I had some people say they couldn't find us on one or the other. So I'll start making it easier for you guys. And rate and review us. We got a really great review that kind of made me really happy this week. So make sure to go on iTunes. I should stop being a hypocrite and actually go rate and review all of the podcasts I've been listening to lately. And
I try to do that. I'm trying to get better about it now that
I
I'm
know.
doing a podcast. On
I
my own.
know.
Like, I did a podcast about video games for like I think it was 2 or 3 years, and I don't think they have a single review on iTunes. And we have 19. Most of them very good. There are a couple that are like on the downside.
that's
and,
okay.
And whatever.
I never get
happens.
upset
Like,
about
it's nice to see it.
Yeah, I never get upset about the bad reviews because, like, we're just not other people's bread and butter, you know? Other people
Yeah.
aren't that into us. But I still like it, and our
We're
other
the cool
fans.
kids that your mom warned you about.
Yeah. I still like
Let's
it.
go jump a shark, kids.
I mean, really?
Like other history podcasts are like the valedictorians of the school. We're the cool podcast that smoke cigarettes behind the gym.
Yeah, we are, except I don't smoke cigarettes because I am crazy
We're-
about getting sick.
like Judd Nelson and Breakfast Club.
I'll smoke. You know what? They'll be smoking the cigarettes, and I'll be chewing on one of those candy cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll look.
Or you'll seductively suck on a lollipop in your
Ooh.
pink leather jacket.
Yeah, and I'll wear one of my boyfriend's leather jackets.
We're like Heath Ledger and 10 Things I Hate About You, where like we look like a badass, but really we're sweet in the center.
Oh yeah, he had a Tootsie Roll center. Okay, guys, find us, rate, review us. That's it. We're done. Sorry.
Okay. So until next time.
Divorced, beheaded,
beheaded,
died.
died.
Divorced, beheaded, survived.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.